Good afternoon, folks. Now, today's topic B, we are discussing TIAs, trans isometric attacks. Okay, TIAs as they're known. Okay, a TIA begins the way a story begins when the narrator voice catches just slightly, just long enough for the listener to wonder if something is wrong. A woman reaches for her keys and feels her fingers miss their mark. A man opens his mouth to speak and hears his own voice wrap into something unfamiliar. A curtain of darkness drops over one eye. A foot drags. A sentence dissolves. And then, as if embarrassed by its own interruption, the body restores itself. This restoration is the most dangerous part. A mini stroke is the body's disappearing act, a warning that vanishes before anyone can name it. It is the brain's brief confusion that blood did not reach. Where it needed to go. And because the confession is short, because the world snaps back into place, people tell themselves a story of reassurance. I'm fine, it passed. It was nothing. But the truth is that the body rarely speaks without a reason. A TIA is the moment the brain says, I almost broke. The morning it happened. Imagine a woman, let's call her Ruth, standing at her kitchen counter in Meadville. The July light slanting through the window. She is slicing peaches for a cobbler she has made every summer for 40 years. Her hands know the rhythm. Peel, slice, turn, peel, slice, turn. And then her right hand pauses. The knife wobbles. The peach slips from her grasp. For a moment, her fingers feel foreign, as if they belong to someone else. She tries to call out to her husband in the next room, but the words emerge thick, heavy, as though her tongue has forgotten its choreography. It lasts 30 seconds. Then her hand steadies. Her voice clears. She picks up the peach and continues slicing. When her husband asks if she's all right, she waves off. She waves him off. Just tired, just a moment. But the moment was a message. The body's quiet language. TIA speak in fragments, drifting gait, blurred words, a dropped mug, sudden blindness that lifts, numbness that fades, confusion that evaporates. They are the body's soft knocks on the door before it breaks it down. They are the rehearsals for the event that will not resolve, the stroke that will not give the brain back what it briefly lost. The danger is not the symptom. The danger is the fact that the symptom was possible. The hours that follow after Ruth's moment in the kitchen, her brain entered a period of heightened vulnerability. The next 48 hours were a kind of biological dusk, beautiful, fragile, and perilous. The risk of a major stroke spiked, not in the distant future, but immediately. The plaque that shed debris could shed again. The clot that dissolved could form. The heart rhythm that flickered could flare. But Ruth did not know that. Most people don't. TIAs are dangerous because they hide inside normalcy. They resolve before fear can take hold. They leave no bruise, no scar, no visible evidence. They rely on memory alone, and memory is unreliable when the body resists, when the body insists everything is fine. The story beneath the story. Behind every TIA is a deeper narrative. The slow stiffening of vessels, the quiet accumulation of plaque, the erosion of endothelial health, the years of pressure, sugar, inflammation, and rhythm. TIA is the moment the plot slips. The brain reveals that something beneath the surface is unstable. And then just as quickly, the story resumes. But the tear In the narrative remains the human instinct to minimize. Ruth told no one. She finished her cobbler. She served it warm with vanilla ice cream. She laughed with her grandchildren. She went to bed believing the day had been ordinary. This is the danger. TIAs are easy to ignore because they are easy to forget. Humans trust returns. We trust the hand that steadies. We trust the voice that clears. We trust the vision that reappears. But the body's return to normal is not a promise. It's a reprieve, the moment of reckoning. 2 days later, Ruth felt the same heaviness in her hand, but this time it did not pass. Her speech slurred and stayed slurred. Her face drooped. Her right side weakened. Her husband called 911. The paramedics arrived. The hospital lights were bright. The CT scanner hummed. The stroke was real, permanent, and unforgiving. And yet, the tragedy had announced itself. Days earlier, the body had whispered before it screamed. The lyrical truth. A mini stroke is dangerous because it is a ghost present for a breath, gone before anyone can name it. It is the shadow of a future that can still be changed. It is the body's soft warning, the fragile space between almost and already. To ignore a TIA is to ignore the poetry of the body, the way it warns us gently before it warns us violently. It is to miss the chance to intervene in the narrow doorway between independence and disability, between speech and silence, between home and long-term care. A TIA is the moment the brain says, I am trying to hold on. Help me before I cannot. Okay, guys, that is B. I will be back on with C in a bit. For now, Gator Wellness, take care.